every one of us today have him to thank for doing the right thing at a time when anybody would have said, you don't need to do that. You have every right to be a military dictator. You won this war. Congress can't pay you. Take what's yours, George. And he says, no, I'm offended at the very suggestion. Incredibly noble story. People need to know that story.
Eric, introduce us here just for a moment to Pope John Paul II and what we can learn from his life.
Talk about a great man. And again, I'm not a Catholic, of course, and this is not promoting Catholic theology, but the point is we've got to recognize greatness of character, right? People don't
Right.
even argue about whether George Washington was a Christian. It's not about that in every one of these cases, that this is about character. And here's a man, John Paul II, who stood up to the Nazis when they were persecuting the Poles. Incredible. I'm going to Poland later this week, actually, to film something for Bonhoeffer and going to Germany. When I think of what that country went through, they went through hell at the hands of the Nazis. This man, humbled by the death of his father, the death of his mother, the death of his brother, just broken, but turns to Jesus and was such a man of prayer, stands up to the Nazis, prays through that horrible period, stands up to the communists. It's just a story of a hero, and we don't remember, many of us, what an athlete he was. He was a skier. He was just a man's man who chose God. And I said that story needs to be known. It certainly needs to be known by folks who say, I'm a Catholic. You need to know about this great man. But non-Catholics like myself, we still need to know what this man did. Stood up with Reagan and Thatcher against the Soviet Union, and frankly was used by God to bring it down. Just unbelievable.
Eric Metaxas is with us. 7 Men and the Secret of Their Greatness is the title of his new book. It's published by Thomas Nelson and available in bookstores everywhere. Eric, thanks so much for your time, and we look forward to visiting with you sometime again real soon.
I would love it. Thanks for having me. God bless you.
Okay, bye-bye. You too. Eric and John Stone, what's John's last Stone? Anyway,
I don't know the answer.
All right.
To that
well,
one.
those guys, they've been down here to visit with me. Those guys, Eric
and they have done a great job, haven't they?
John, they took over for Chuck Colson.
Right.
They were at the
not
Chuck.
easy to do, Tim.
No,
not easy.
They continued the work, I should say, of the Colson Center when Chuck passed away. That's what I'm trying to say here. Those two gentlemen. And John did, and I think their radio feature is promoted here on American Family Radio called Breakpoint. They do a wonderful job with that. But anyway, I really believe this, Ray. If not for George Washington, I don't think you.
Right.
Important.
In the deepest sense, the true father of our country. He is the father of what America has become.
And he was, my good friend Stephen McDowell's written a book called America's Providential History. And George Washington knew that he was a man of providence. God put him there for that place and time to help birth a free land, which would ultimately lead to spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only across the New World, but also across the globe. And here we are some 200 years plus later talking about George Washington. We'll be back after this break.